Welcome to hell, everybody. Here we are talking about the Diablo 4 official Inner Gamer review. Who's excited?
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can we all agree that Diablo or Activision Blizzard has finally brought out a decently working good
Finally,
game?
yes.
Not even decent. Like it's. I think it works pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't ran into any issues. I mean, I did run into one issue, but that's besides the point because I'm dumb.
Well, so what is this game? Just so everybody knows, Diablo 4 is the newest RPG experience with endless evil to slaughter, countless abilities to master, nightmares, dungeons, and legendary loot. You embark on a campaign solo or with friends, meeting memorable characters through beautifully dark settings and a gripping story, or explore an expansive endgame and shared world where players can meet in towns to trade, team up to battle world bosses, or descend into PvP zones to test their skills against other players. I actually didn't realize the PvP zones was in this game. That's pretty cool. No lobbies necessary with crossplay and cross progression at all platforms. So, this is Diablo 4. It's a full-on MMO, essentially, which is kind of crazy because it doesn't feel like that, but it is. It is, and I'm really enjoying it so far. But a little bit about the story. This takes place 50 years after the events of Diablo 3, after millions of people have been slaughtered by the actions of the high heavens and burning hells alike. And this game focuses around Lilith, the daughter of Mephisto, the whispered progenitor of humanity. I don't know what that word even means. Her grip on Sanctuary cuts deep in the hearts of men and women alike, cultivating the world and its denizens, leaving the world in a dark, hopeless place. And then here we are with her.
I feel like we need a recap on what happened on the last game because I don't remember.
Come on, baby, let's sin. That's what I feel from every time like she appears and she's talking to people, making them do shit. I'm
That's
just
funny.
like,
That's funny.
oh yeah, baby, come on. Let's
my
do
God.
this.
I can't say I early on. I know both of you are like, oh, I want to like watch the story bits, and I was the same way. And this got to the point where it was like, skip the story. It's not that captivating. We don't get enough of these like high quality cutscenes, which are kind of scattered throughout the campaign, and they're far and few between. So I was just like, whatever. And I just get on to the killing and the fighting and
I don't know.
all the craziness.
I think I kind of have to disagree with you on that. The story, there's a story there.
There is.
But I think what like hinders it the most is playing with so many people. Because
Yes.
Sam and I got lost in the story. Well, Sam did at this one point we were doing the side mission, and we were playing with Nick, and Nick's already ran through it. And he's just like, and Sam's like, I don't understand what's going on. And Nick just laid it all out to her. Like, this is what's happening. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I got. I don't know how you missed that. But Sam's not paying attention to like all the tiny details. Like you said, the cutscenes and stuff. But the other ones where you're just like not in the
Reading
cutscene
and all
and you're
that.
talking to the person back and forth.
Yeah.
She's not paying attention to that. And that's where like it gets lost because a lot of people skip that and they just start running. And you're like, oh, wait, everyone's gone. Now I need to catch up. So you're concerned about skipping or not. So this game, if you want to follow the story, you got to be with a good group of people that want to follow it. And then also you got to like, you might have to just play it by yourself, which kind of sucks. So
That is the thing. It's like this is a game that I really much prefer to play with people because there's parts where it does get like really challenging, and it's like I wish I had like a second person to help take aggro and like, combat situations and stuff. But I do want like we were playing yesterday and stuff, and it's like there's parts of the cutscene that I want to sit there and watch, but it's not good for other people who who don't really want to enjoy the story, or get involved in the story. They want to do the killing. It's like there isn't a nice. We have this problem with every co-op game. You know, there's not a happy medium with both groups of people who want to play the way they want to play, kind of thing. But I agree. I think the story is. I agree kind of with both of you a little bit. I don't think the story is as great as I was hoping it would be, but I do think there is more of a story here. It's just the problem is it's kind of like with like a Pokemon game, for example. There's a lot of reading you got to do. I mean, there's still like people talking, but like when you're in that overhead view where it's not an actual cutscene, it's just like two people talking back and forth.
Yeah.
I get disengaged just naturally because it just doesn't feel as immersive as if you're looking at a scene play out and getting different angles and shots and stuff like that. You know, that's
what I want there.
And they don't have as much of that. So I agree. It's like I wish they had more of the for such a high production game. I wish the main storylines had like actual had more cutscenes throughout the game.
yeah.
But
Because cutscenes are pretty good.
Yeah. Visually, yes, they're like phenomenal.
And the game as a whole looks incredible. Like I was very impressed with the graphic quality of this and the performance. They've definitely fixed the performance from the beta. And it runs super smooth. I mean, the game looks great. Details are impressive. I mean, when you zoom in, you start losing some of those details, but when you're like zoomed out all the way in your view, which I think is the perfect view to be playing the game, it looks really good. And there's like a lot of just like little I mean, that's all dark and gritty and disgusting, but you know, it's really cool to see all the little details when you walk through dungeons or go underground in the caves and stuff like that. I'm like, damn, they've got the art direction really solid here.
Yeah, compared to Diablo 3 to this one, it's just like it blows it out of the water.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
And then the waves of enemies. Dear Lord, you feel like you're getting overrun, but you
can't take but like 2 steps.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, oh, I got an ambush. Oh, there's more enemies. Oh, there's a whole horde.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But I appreciate that because was it like that in the last game? Because I can't remember.
In the
It's
last
been too long.
Diablo 3, it was kind of like that, but not that intense though.
Yeah,
For
you
some
get a
reason,
lot
you
of-
get a lot of people here, and it's just in random areas or in a dungeon or something like that. So I mean, so far I'm digging it. It reminds me a lot of Diablo 3. I wasn't a fan of the other Diablos. I know that's like bad to say, but it's just
You
those
heathen.
those were like dated.
They were hardcore. I mean,
I
like
shoulda-
Diablo 2 especially, it was like very hardcore.
I should have jumped into it when it was like when it first released, and I probably would have enjoyed it. But after going from Diablo 3 or even this game back to Diablo 1 or 2, I still enjoyed this one a little bit better. I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for that. But
Yeah.
Really?
yeah, I was getting hate about it last time. Just talking about it with someone.
Just saying that you like this better than the last one?
I like Diablo 3 better than the last 2.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, I think what's happened with all these, like you have the
I can see why
diehards
people-
from like 1 and 2 who
Yeah.
those games were hard. They were challenging not from just a gameplay perspective, but they were challenging from a systems perspective. And Diablo 4 has made this way more accessible where it's like your character class, like it's easy to understand or the ability tree. Like it took a second to kind of grasp it, but it's just like, okay, you just pick a quadrant each section, each node, and you just like kind of branch out from there and you keep moving down the tree. So it's relatively easy to kind of grasp that. And then you have your character menu, which you don't have to worry about trying to slot your characters into the different, you don't have to play Tetris to fit your inventory.
Oh
into
yeah,
the
it's
plays.
fit your inventory, dear Lord.
You know, like they used to have in the
yeah,
old
yeah,
games
yeah.
and stuff like that. And it's so easy to just like mark shit to sell for junk or to turn stuff in. Like they've made things so much more accessible for everybody to where you can focus on getting into upgrading your gear, increasing your character's abilities, and then just getting to the game.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to do all that bullshit like micromanagement of a bunch of stuff. It's just like make your character stronger real quick, spend a few minutes on that, and then get back to the action, you know? And I think that's really cool that they've made those adjustments here.
And I like the fact that it connects so easily with PC players whenever I'm playing on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like I connected with Nick like no issue. He just
Wait, are you
jumped
playing
in.
on PlayStation this game?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were playing on PC
No.
with the controller. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what
awesome.
I'm saying. It's just
Yeah.
like nothing,
Yeah.
you know. And the in-game chat is phenomenal.
Yeah, it works very
actually
well.
better than
works.
Discord.
Yeah, it's way
weird.
better than Discord. I was very shocked and surprised, but so far I'm like really digging it. I haven't got the mount yet. I know that's the big new thing in this game,
Nice.
but
But you kind of need to walk around.
yeah,
Especially because you
That's what I
have to
kinda
beat the main campaign to get it apparently. And I was like, man, I wish
chapter 3 you get it.
Okay.
supposedly.
Oh,
Okay.
Well, the end of Act 3 is the end of the game. No, and it's not.
it's not.
There's like 7 acts.
fuck.
Never mind. You're right. You're right.
Oh, okay. Well,
Ignore me,
That's
sorry.
what I heard, but I guess that's wrong. I was just like, whatever about the mount. I'm just trying to level up and
Yeah.
get bigger. But I mean, you need to walk around to kill people, find new items. Like if you
It's
have a
kinda-
mount, you're just gonna be. I see people flying by me all the time
Yeah.
on a mount. It's like, oh well.
I think it'll be nice
Pointless.
later on, but honestly, the way in which the map is designed, it's been really nice to just like, okay, I have a destination I want to go, walk through there, kill a bunch of baddies on the way, do some like XP grinding a little bit on the way there. And then when I'm done, I just like fast travel back. And then I don't have to worry about, and I've already like, hopefully at that point moving forward, there's enough of the waypoints where like they built them in the right spots where you can like waypoint yourself around and
Yeah.
get relatively close. So it's like, I'm not, as much as I thought I would want to mount in this massive world, I'm kind of okay without it right now
Yeah.
because it's designed well enough to where I can travel easily.
Yeah. All the places aren't ridiculously big.
Yeah,
But actually, the world's pretty small, I feel like, but they do a good job of making it seem really big.
big.
Yeah.
I mean, you always stop There's always some place to stop. There's like
Right.
an obelisk that gives you superpowers. So it's like, oh, well, the more mobs I kill, the more money I can make because I have the greed omen or whatever you want to call it buff. And then you can go down in the holes or you go in the caves and go into dungeons and you got missions and dungeons and
The world events that happen everywhere.
Yeah. How do y'all feel about those? The world events.
I love them.
I think it's cool. I mean, I think it's kind of like Destiny, where like eventually it's going to get kind of repetitive.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, I've done the same with the world events, like 10,000 times over.
Yeah.
But I like it because it does, especially if you unlock the mastery piece of it. It's kind of like in Destiny where you have the elite unlock or whatever. Same deal. You get better loot, and I've actually gotten some pretty solid loot from completing those world events.
Yeah, my wife was complaining a little bit about them. She likes them, but she doesn't like the fact that other people can jump in. Which I explained
I
to her.
love
a little
that.
bit. Yeah, I love it too. You know, if I'm by myself or something, or if we actually do
Wait,
need
she doesn't want
help,
people to jump in?
She doesn't want people to jump in.
Why not?
Because she's the type of person, I got this, I can do it. I love her to death.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
I mean,
but,
that's true. I'm sure she could.
yeah, because she's like, can we make this like a closed server or anything like that?
Yeah.
I'm like, no,
It's an MMO.
It's an MMO. She's
Yeah.
like, but why? I was just like, I don't know. But I mean, I don't mind it. They don't get involved that much. It's just the world events. That's the only time I experienced running into someone. And of course, the central hub. You know?
Say when you're doing like dungeons and stuff like that, you don't really have to. I don't ever have anybody.
no one runs all that's
an
like
instance.
separate.
Yeah, so it's like world
just
events and
world
strongholds.
events.
I'm like, yeah, come on down.
I don't even
help
think
me
it's
out.
Stronghold. I just recently did one.
They may not. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I've only done one stronghold.
I think I like that.
Strongholds.
I enjoy the
Yeah.
fact that they have the world events. It gives me something to like look forward to as I'm running. If I don't want to do a dungeon to like go deep down in that, I can do something quick and easy.
Yeah.
Well, not easy, but something quick. And I don't mind someone jumping in and helping me because sometimes I get too big of a head and jump in there. But
Well, I had a problem with the online feature early on because day one, you had to log in and it was like, oh, you're queued to log in. I'm
Yeah.
like, this wasn't a thing in the original or in Diablo 3.
because it's
Yeah.
MMO now.
Well, I know, and I was like, "Is this really necessary? Like, does this need to be this way?" And I was like, "Man, this might screw everything up." Luckily, that was just a day one issue. It went away real fast.
Oh, yeah.
I got to log in pretty soon after that, and it hasn't been an issue since. And it is nice that you can go around the world, and if you have other players in your vicinity, you get their XP when they kill something.
Yeah.
So like, it is a bonus to be playing around people.
Yeah. people.
Like, especially if you go into some of these world events or the ones where it's kind of like a stronghold, but it's not, and you have to like kill enemies to get things to summon, and you kill those to get the big boss. Like, you're just getting an extra XP from all that, and I'm like, this is great. I want to play with you people. Plus,
Yeah.
I mean, some of those things you need people to help you out. Otherwise,
yeah.
you're dead.
have y'all gotten to a point with the battle pass yet? Or is that like in game?
is
I
that
don't
even
think they've
out
launched
yet?
the battle pass
They
yet.
haven't launched it yet?
So
Okay.
it's going to come with the seasonal content, which they haven't launched the first season yet.
Because Sam and I bought the $100 one for this game.
Yeah.
And we were able to jump up like 20 passes ahead.
Oh,
20
really?
slots.
Oh, you already got it?
Yeah, we got it like right when this game came out. Sam's
Man.
like, I want to get the most expensive one, basically, which gives you like some mounts, and then it also gives you like something for Diablo Immortal, which we don't fucking play, and
Right.
Diablo 3,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think,
yeah.
and
World of Warcraft. You get a skin for that.
I think so. Actually,
Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't read into it, then I like started reading into it. I was like, oh shit, I don't get any of this, and I can't use the mount stuff until
Yeah.
end of Act 3, but.
Yeah, they're supposed to release. So once the game has ran for a little bit, I don't know when the first season will start, but I mean they have a store right now, which I know a lot of people have been bickering about online.
I haven't even looked at
because the store is expensive. As long,
Some
but
good
it's
stuff.
There's good stuff,
Like,
but it's like I've been unlocking stuff. Like now that you
Is
told
it
me, Austin,
just-
how to dismantle, I was like, okay, now I got some gear I can
Yeah.
change out and
Yeah.
look cool.
Is it just cosmetic in the store?
Always.
Right? Okay.
Only
Thank
going to ever be
God.
cosmetic. Yeah. So the cosmetic upgrades are always going to be rotated out and give you like new, cool, badass shit to wear. But when the seasonal content starts, I'm actually really excited about it because they're going to give incentives to create new characters and start over with like new builds and new ways to play the game. So like the new season's going to introduce like a new battle pass. It's going to bring out, I mean, just like kind of how a lot of our seasonal content works now. You get a new battle pass, but you also get story content. And they're going to have at least 3 expansions planned for this game that are going to be tied probably to the seasonal content. So you'll get like a big expansion that's like an extension of the game story to expand into another area of whatever it is. Plus, like, they'll have some new classes, probably some new enhancements to the existing classes, new like nodes to pass through. So they're going to bring a lot of upgrades to it over time. That I'm kind of excited to see how that. Like, I'm hopeful that this is going to be kind of like a Destiny was for a little bit, where it's like, okay, a new content drop comes out. Let's jump back into Diablo for a couple months and just like play through the new content, enjoy it, get it. Because I'm enjoying what I'm playing right now, but I definitely want to play with friends.
Yeah.
So it's like nice that you guys are playing. We got, Nick and Josh have been playing. We got Austin's friend Rudy's playing. A lot of different people are playing in there. And we have a clan now that I guess Josh started or whatever.
Yeah,
I was going to do the inner gamer, but I was like, well, I'll just join what they got.
Yeah,
more
let's not
active
do
with
inner
it.
gamer.
Yeah.
It looks so cheesy.
No, it looks awesome, but yeah. But it's like, it was kind of neat yesterday because like we were playing a game. I know y'all were in there playing, so I would see like when y'all achieve challenges.
Yeah, well,
it would
we
like
noticed
tell
that.
me when it like popped up.
And we
But
also
then-
noticed like the chat too, because Nick was like not Nick, it was Josh. I think
Yeah,
he was
Josh and
chatting
David were
up,
chatting.
yeah.
And I was chatting a little bit with them too, so it's kind of cool to see clan chat popping up and
Yeah.
like you can chat with your friends
guess-
who are doing other things in the world.
You can also do voice clan chat as well.
Yeah.
which would be annoying, but yeah. What are you
Well,
gonna
I saw that. I mean, you were mentioning that the other day, and I was like, I don't have any chat popping up. And even Rudy like messaged me because before he jumped on with us, and he was like, "What's up?" And I was like, I didn't even see his pop. I had to hit enter to pull up chat, and then I saw that he had messaged me, and I was like, "Oh,
That might be what it is that well, a direct message though should still pop up because
Yeah.
like Josh sent me a direct message one day and it popped up for me, but I had to like
Didn't pop up for
initiate
me.
well, no, I didn't have to initiate clan chat. It was popping up down there in the corner.
it did pop up for me."
So that's another issue I
wanna
have
check
because
your
you said
settings.
you sent me a whisper, two of
Yeah.
them, right? Yesterday? too?
Yeah.
So in the bottom right hand corner, I had the message block, like a,
Yes.
like a dot.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to click on it because I'm playing on controller.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how to open it up.
That's true. I forgot
As for
about that.
this,
yeah.
like here, you hit enter to chat on
Yeah.
PC.
Yeah,
So it didn't go over it that well, and I don't know how to
doesn't.
open it up.
yeah. You probably have to look online. Someone
Yeah.
knows something.
I hate
Yeah.
looking shit up online, especially because I don't think about it until I start playing, and then everybody wants to go forward. I'm like,
So I want to talk a little bit about the character classes and stuff like that because we talked about some of the gameplay, graphics, story, MMO aspects, but like character classes. What all are you guys playing right now?
I got the Druid, which is pretty OP. If
That's
you
your main
build them
character, right?
Yeah, that's my main character. And then I got the Necromancer, which is also pretty awesome. But I like the Druid because I'm doing the Storm build, which apparently is supposed to be more for endgame. But it's really nice because if you get... Well, they recommend you use a two-handed weapon. I'm using a guide because I don't have time to run through it. When you pull up the skill tree, there's so much to choose from.
There is.
And if you just start picking stuff, you're like, oh, I'll use this, and I'm like as you would think as you have like your core abilities at the top and you unlock them all, but you have other abilities lower down that you might want to use.
Yep.
So you don't want to unlock all the core abilities in the front. Well, not really core abilities, but there's like starting abilities. And so like when I first started the Druid, I just started unlocking stuff, and I'm like, that's not the way to go.
No.
Like, you really have to get a sense, and this is where it gets really deep, is the talent tree. Like, you really have to figure out how you want to go about playing stuff. And so with the skill guide, I was able to figure out, the Storm ability is awesome. You get a single-handed weapon with your little totem, and you got really fast attack, which charges up my essence, which I could use to rain down electricity. And the more I rain down electricity, the more lightning bolts come down with it each time. So if I get into a mob, man, it's like 1, 3,
boom, boom.
6, and I'm just like destroying them like crazy. So it's been pretty fun. And now I have bear form, so I can turn into a bear for a little bit.
That's pretty
That's
sick.
my ultimate.
That was the thing I was running into when I first opened the ability tree was that I didn't know really understand how
Yeah.
the tree worked. So I was like picking all the nodes off the first part.
Exactly.
And then I realized they stack in your skill block at the bottom, but you can only assign one of them.
Right.
So I was like, well, the other ones are useless. So I just wasted a bunch of points.
Exactly.
Unless I want to swap between them. So then I looked up online. It was like, really, you pick one main skill from each node. And then there's a little smaller squares that branch off that are like buffs to your ultimate, buffs to your regular ability, buffs to your secondary ability. And I was like, okay, now it makes sense. But it took me a second. So yeah, I was like you. And then right when I hit level 8, I was like, let me make sure I know what I'm doing before I get locked out of upgrading.
Well, you won't get locked out though. You always
have to
respec.
you have to spend money though
but
to
it's like
respec.
400 gold.
Yeah.
Well, the higher you get, the more money you have to spend, and the higher you get.
I have like $1 million already.
Yeah.
So
that's
like,
fine.
because right now I'm playing a necromancer and I got the skills that I need. And right now I have 3 skills I haven't assigned because I have everything maxed out. So my goal is to get more skills, and then I'm just going to find a good build and just redo it all.
Yeah.
Especially whenever I get to the more difficulty and more difficult levels.
Especially once you get to level 50, I feel like you just like, just fuck it and just like rebuild your character or whatever you want.
Yeah. But I'm playing as Necromancer, which I'm really enjoying, as I explained in the beginning of the podcast.
That's your main right now?
What's that?
Is that your main character?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Actually,
it wasn't your highest level.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be. It was supposed to be my rogue because I loved playing the rogue in the last one. But my wife just started playing again, and I was just like, well, I don't want to be that high level, so I just started playing as Necromancer until she reached the level of my rogue. But then I started falling in love with Necromancer, and I was just like,
damn,
man, fuck. I was just like, but I like the rogue. I like the rogue so much. And I'm like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to stick with a Necromancer, and he is just like wrecking shit left and right, especially since I have the Golem unlocked, because he can like...
That's awesome.
He can like rage and cause debuffs to all the enemies around him once he does it.
That's good.
He brings them all
That's
in.
good.
I'm like, yes, and I just go in with my scythe and just hit them all. Just do hella damage.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So.
See, that is cool though that you like multiple characters. You know, you're not just like, I just want to use this one, but like...
Because I'm planning on like playing as all of them eventually.
Yeah.
It's just, it's fun, you know?
Well, in the beta, I did the sorcerer. So eventually I'm going to go back to that.
I hate the fucking sorcerer.
It's squishy, but it's super powerful. I don't know.
It seems cool.
Well, here's the thing. It's squishy up to a certain level. Once it hits level 30, because I was talking to Nick about it last night, it starts becoming like
God tier.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's why I like it.
Son of a bitch.
I love going in Diablo 3 and just like fire beam everything. And they're just like, all right, moving on.
Yeah.
What do I have?
hated it because that's all that Sam would play. And then we get to a point where she's not squishy anymore. She's ahead of me because she has the teleportation like
Yep.
dash. And I'm like, and she's wrecking everything. And I'm just collecting stuff like a little minion or some shit. Like, fuck, man.
I feel like that sometimes with my druid, because y'all be in there attacking. I'm just like, lightning bolts. I am Zeus. Dead. But even with the necromancer, I got the corpse explosion. So like,
Which one's that under?
necromancer.
Oh no, I know, but like, is it in the skill tree or is it in the
it's
book of the dead?
it's in the skill tree. It's either second or third node.
See, because, and that's another reason why I want to like do a whole respec and see what I really want. Because right now, what I have now, it's doable, but I'm just hacking and slashing. You know.
So with the corpse explosion, is you can make it where your normal attacks and your secondary attack or your heavy attack actually, when it hits an enemy, like they drop a corpse. And so you use that to explode, and then you can upgrade the explosion to be bigger. And then I just upgraded it to where if they have some kind of debuff on them, like vulnerability, stunned, immobilized, it does 9 times the damage. And so when you get all those people in there, like all y'all killing enemies,
every corpse can explode?
well, every time I kill an enemy, a corpse drops.
Right.
But my normal abilities have a chance for a corpse to drop.
Yeah.
And then if my skeleton guys die, they drop a corpse.
Right.
So it just becomes, I just like literally can hold that one trigger down and it's like,
So it's like every corpse. So it's not like one corpse explodes. It's like every.
it's one at a time.
Yeah. But if there's 10 bodies there,
you can just like hold it down and just get it.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So
that's why
it was a minefield yesterday.
Wow. Man, I didn't know that. Okay. That makes sense. Shit, that's powerful.
So they could be fun. It could be a lot of fun.
And that's another thing that bothers me about this game is like the detail in knowing your specs and knowing like all the little bit of like buffs that you can do and all that will like add up to something huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Nick right now he's running with a rogue and he has these like balls that float around him. Ooh. And each time he hits an enemy with it, he gets health back.
Oh.
So he can just
nice.
run through, move in close, stab. He can be in a horde, and these balls will take him out. And while he's getting hit, he's doing damage at the same time because the ball's doing damage to them, and he's getting health back.
Yeah,
wow.
Like it's just so much little details. He has, and I'm just like blown away that someone can just like visualize all this and like put in what can happen and just it works out for him. All those buffs.
Well, if you want to look at the minutia of like the effects and damage and do the math you just have a sense for that.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that.
I just want to jump in this game. Give me.
I'm looking at the damage per second, but like, more damage per second. Okay.
Give me a guide who. Thank God for the people out there who make these guides because it really helps out. And I don't have to do too much thinking.
And they're so detailed.
Oh man,
it's wild.
Like, I wouldn't know because a druid has aspects of nature that eventually you unlock by doing a quest, which I think everyone has a quest to unlock, certain things.
Necromancer had to find the golem. He had to go do a side quest on his own. Well, not on his own, but he had to do something. Which that right there is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I thought that was unique.
That's my secondary character, so I can't wait to unlock it. But I have to go clear out the stronghold and then do a dungeon and then defeat some people. Eventually, I get to this little grove area, and I have 4 different animals I can choose from, and I collect things from people who fall or dead enemies, and I can put that collection towards what is it? Like I'm giving it to these spirits, and they give me buffs, and I can rank each of them up to a certain point where like I can choose out of 4 or 5 different buffs what I want, and I wouldn't have known what to pick unless I had this guide. I'm like, this is a lot.
This is too much.
I would have to just sit here. But I mean, it's great that even if you don't know anything or don't want to get into it, I think you can just jump in this game and have fun.
Oh yeah, you
it's
still
just
jump
super
in.
easy.
Yeah.
Like jump in, kill some things, get some loot, upgrade your guy.
Largely speaking, the training that they give you along the way is actually pretty good. Like they inform me of like, oh, here's how you do your jewelry stuff. Here's how you do this, and you have those little side quests you can do that are basically like training quests that tell you like how to do the blacksmith and how to do this and that or whatever. So I think that's really nice. I've been playing the barbarian. That's been my only character because I'm not I don't have enough time to play this game to where I can play multiple characters right now. But my barbarian is interesting because it's the only character in the game that has what's called the arsenal system. And the arsenal system allows me to carry up to 4 weapons at a time and use them interchangeably at any point in time.
How does that work? You just swap them?
It's tied to skills. So each skill uses either a two-handed weapon or a slashing weapon, a bludgeoning weapon, or a dual weapon.
That would be so helpful.
Yeah. So my main attack is it's called, I forgot what it's called, but I pull out 2 different blades.
Yeah.
And I just start swiping. And then the more I swipe, the faster I move. And the more I build up fury, because my mana bar is basically a fury bar.
Yeah.
And as that builds up, it enables me to use my right click ability, which is the Hammer of the Ancients. So I didn't do the Whirlwind like a lot of people are doing. I went the Hammer of the Ancients, which is a big ass hammer, which is my bludgeoning. So I have a big ass mace that after I'm doing like sword, I pull out like a big ass mace behind me and drop it down. Just causes like,
how did he switch weapons so fast?
Yeah.
Wait, is that the earthquake?
No, it's not an earthquake. Well,
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
it's just like a big spawn. It just like creates this like kind of ripple out there.
I know
But it
what
just
my
hits a
third
couple of
character's gonna be
enemies
now.
in a couple areas, and then as it builds up, it can generate health. It can generate more fury from doing that, and then it does just additional damage. Like I was telling Austin yesterday, I got an ability now that if enemies are close to me, which I have to be close to them to fight, I have +3, +6. I'm about to do +9% damage dealing to each enemy if they're close to me. And then ranged enemies have a damage reduction on my character now because of that ability. So I can get in close, but far away enemies can't hit me. And I can drop that stuff. And then I got a buff now that if I turn it on, gives all my friends in the area +10% movement speed.
It's
and also
great.
does like some damage reduction or something like that,
That's
I think
great.
also. So that's really nice. But it's interesting to see how like, I mean, I'm like swapping out weapons left and right, and all of them I can slot. One other thing that's interesting too is I think the barbarian is unique in that he can carry multiple weapons that have two sockets per weapon, which I think Josh was talking about yesterday. There's certain weapons like he barely has weapons on his other one that have more than one socket slot. But I can carry I can have every single weapon have 2 sockets per weapon, which gives you more buffs to your character. I'm like, this is so crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of detail.
That's
a lot
nice.
of detail.
That's nice.
But yeah, I'm really digging it. Sam and I played for like 6 hours yesterday.
That's
Man.
awesome. Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I'm really liking it. I'm glad everybody else is liking it. I'm glad the game's running well. I'm glad the servers held up because Overwatch had such shit when that happened.
Yeah.
I'm glad it seems like they finally did the right thing with the server slam and all that stuff to try and make sure that didn't happen again. And
I was expecting it. That's why
good.
day one I was like,
Yeah.
this was all just a horrible idea to go online MMO style, but it worked out for them. Thank goodness.
Yeah, I think they actually crazily learned from Diablo 3 in a way. Like, they learned what their mistakes were, and they've got a polished game.
It's good.
I'll just be curious to see as they start to develop it and evolve it, because they already said that the next patch is going to have a lot of buffs and debuffs to characters.
They just did that.
Yeah, so there's
It was like
about to be
day
a lot.
3 or something.
Yeah, so they're going to be changing the meta of the characters quite a bit, which kind of scares me. If you
Especially if you're already
invest
used
60,
to it.
Oh,
60
yeah,
levels
I
into a
know.
character, and all of a sudden your character sucks the next day.
That's what I hate about WoW is that you log in after a while and then it's like, oh, we redid this character, so all your skill points are now
Yeah,
like you have to reassign them where you want them. I'm like, God dang it! And I'm like, I don't even remember what I was doing, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it'll be like that though.
yeah. So that's Diablo 4, everybody. It's a fun game. I think it's worth the price of investment, believe it or not.
Yeah.
If you want to join our Discord, you can jump on in. We got a lot. I mean, there's at least probably 6 or 7 people in the Discord that are playing on a regular basis. So there's people to play with, and it's a fun time. And I think we'll be sticking with this game for a little bit, I hope. So there it is, folks. Diablo 4.
Welcome to hell. Let's all sin.
That's all what?
Let's all sin.
Oh, my God.
That's what I get from Lilith every time. You get to sin. You get to sin.
Oh, that's funny.
We're all sin.